Live from ABC 7, Eyewitness News in high definition continues.
I decline. Please, sir, move your camera.
So it's your wife's placard?
Move your camera, sir.
Camera didn't move. One driver after another caught in the act, parking in spots reserved for disabled people. Handicap parking fraud is soaring, and now authorities are cracking down. Welcome back. I'm Mark Brown.
I'm Michelle Tuzzi. It's an Eyewitness News investigation. More California drivers than ever before have disabled placards.
1 out of 10 drivers at last count. That's 2.1 million people in California alone. And California lawmakers have made it even easier to get one. Now, midwives, nurse practitioners, physician's assistants can all authorize a placard. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes has the story now from downtown L.A.
Well, right off the bat, we should note there are many people who have what are considered to be hidden disabilities. Things like lupus, heart and lung conditions. These are disabilities that are not readily apparent but completely legitimate. That is not the case, however, with the people you're about to see.
Can you get out of my office, please?
Can you explain why you're using her placard?
I don't use it.
But what? We just saw you park with it.
Moments before, our crew watched Kevin Clark park his Escalade in the handicap spot outside his Laguna Hills office. The Escalade is registered to him. The handicap placard belongs to a Kawan Duong, Kevin's 95-year-old grandmother.
Get out of my office, please.
We heard about Kevin through this website, handicappedfraud.org, where people anonymously report suspected violators. The person who reported Kevin writes, I heard from someone that his grandmother passed away and that he still receives the placards every 2 years and uses them. Despicable.
My grandma, she's alive. She's 95 years old.
2 of Kevin's co-workers moved the Escalade out of the handicap spot after we confronted him. Anthony Hurtado also works in the building.
Around the office, we were asking ourselves, man, where's this guy parking handicapped? He's obviously pretty mobile and, hops around. He's a pretty agile guy.
Maureen Birdsall runs the website handicappedfraud.org. Her volunteers walk the streets looking for violators.
You want to take a picture of her back plate?
They take a picture of the car, write down the handicap placard number, photograph it, and leave a note on the windshield.
What does those say?
It says you've been reported at handicappedfraud.org. Well, what we do is at the end of every month, we'll be taking all of these placard numbers and printing out reports and sending them to DMV so that they can investigate the placards, see if they've been stolen, see if they're being used by the proper people.
For Maureen, it's personal. One day she had to drop her grandfather off at the hospital. She was forced to park far away because all the handicapped spaces were taken.
I was stuck leaving my grandfather on the hospital stairs, who was blind and had dementia, and had to say, please wait for me to come back. And I got back and he was so confused and upset.
More Californians than ever have disabled placards or plates. According to the DMV, 2.1 million people out of 23 million registered California drivers have them. That's 1 in every 10 drivers.
I noticed you're displaying a handicap placard on your car.
I don't want to be taped home.
UCLA's parking enforcement unit confiscates about 3 fraudulently used placards every week.
I even found one lady who was using a placard that belonged to her deceased mother. She claimed that she inherited the placard from her mother.
Last year alone, the California DMV canceled more than 23,000 placards after determining the real placard holders had died. Counterfeit or stolen placards have also been spotted for sale at flea markets and on eBay. Sometimes it's a shady doctor selling access to the placards for profit.
The word was out, go see this doctor for $20, I believe was a fee. He'll sign off whatever you need to have signed off to get the placard.
Okay, that's misuse of the placard, so she gets a ticket.
Undercover investigators with the DMV teamed up with the City of San Fernando Police Department for this one-day sweep.
So whose placard is it?
My husband.
Your husband?
Yeah, but he passed away.
Martha Reyes is one of 14 people to be cited. It'll cost them a $335 parking ticket from the city. And because the fraudulent use of a placard is a misdemeanor criminal offense, it also means a trip to court, an additional fine up to $1,000, community service working with the disabled, and sometimes 1 year of probation.
Even my daughter's here?
She wasn't here when you parked.
At first, Claudia Diaz claimed her disabled daughter was with her at the swap meet. She just wasn't in the car. But Diaz later admitted to us her daughter was at school.
My daughter's in school. My husband is going to come and break it up.
La placa de mi esposa. Sí,
This man was using his disabled wife's placard. Again, she was not with him as the law requires. And this man's disabled wife, also MIA.
I decline. Please, sir, move your camera. I don't consider myself a criminal just because I drove up here to run an errand for my wife.
For DMV investigators, enforcing the law can be dangerous. One past arrest stands out for Vito Scattaglia.
Attempting to subdue her, I got a nice bite on the arm and a couple of the other investigators, the females were kicked in the chest.
This woman was hauled off to jail. Not only was she using someone else's placard, she had an outstanding warrant for DUI and was driving without a license.
There obviously are just some selfish or lazy people who are just rolling the dice and just hope to not get caught.
People like Andrea DiGiulio and her disabled mom hope the cheaters get caught and pay.
How does it make you feel when you see people parking illegally in these spots?
Well, what makes it happen is then we